Afternoon, fellow YouTubers, and welcome to another fun-filled episode of Chillin' with the Pool. And on behalf of me and the entire staff working here at Chilling with the Pool, I would like to wish you all a very happy start to 2026. Isn't that right, Adam? Yes, indeed. As the old saying goes, should all acquaintance be forgot. I think that's just the name of a song, Adam. I don't think that's an actual custom saying. Huh. Again, well, I forgot. I was trying to brush up on some vernacular lingo during our time off, apart from shows. Well, at least you're still trying, Adam. At least you're still trying. Anyway, I'd like to wish you all a happy start to 2026, the start of a new year, and a whole plethora of opportunities yet to be unveiled to us. So, anyway, you're probably thinking, how is Chillin' with the Pool going to open on this 2026? Well, we're going to start the year like every good show, every quality show starts out with quality. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pride and even greater pleasure to present you with this, the Green Lantern Corps. Nathan, you're probably thinking, what's a generic run-of-the-mill Green Lantern Corps thing have to do with anything? Well, let's see what do we have here? Who is this on the cover, I wonder? Why, it's none other than our main girl, Aya. Yep, that's right. The OC and the original show-created OC for Green Lantern the Animated Series is finally getting the love and respect she truly deserves. And if you think that she's overrated and everything, then y'all have not watched the show. Today, this comic is a very extra special one. Why, you may ask? Well, let's jump right into the story and find out. I come from the planet Inequar. Life in Iquar was unique. We weren't individual inhabitants. We were one ocean. It's like Neptune, a planet comprised of a vast ocean. Perfect for either Namor or Aquaman or something else like this. For eons, we lived in peace, prosperity, trillions of voices ringing in unison. We shared pleasure, pain, and fear. The Green Lantern Corps brought the last surviving members of the planet Aquo, I'm sorry if I butchered the pronunciation, to our world to start over. The Aquans had destroyed their own planet and instantly began destroying ours. Industrialization poisoned and polluted us, drowning out our voices, until I was the only one left. After what felt like an eternity, the Aquans left another world dead in their wake. If this is not an allegory for pollution and environmentalism, then I honestly don't know what is. But I was with them. I stowed away in their water reserves, a drop of sentience in a pool of lifelessness. With my collective gone, I bore every excruciating emotion on my own. Their space repaired, and now. I blame the Green Lantern Corps. They swear to protect all life, but in saving one species, they killed another. For all the power and knowledge in their rings, they couldn't perceive the abundance of life in our ocean. Leaving Iniquar, I had a unique telekinetic advantage over organics. Being part of a hive mind has its perks when you're suddenly all alone. I've stayed alive all these years by feeding off the rich nutrients of what you meat sacks call a body, taking your shape for a short period of time before my reform resets. I see. This guy is insane. Why does he even want me here? With powers like these, he could do whatever he wanted to Oa, unless he knows he can't. With this ability, I have meticulously planned for my time to strike. Now that the Starbreakers are taken care of, I have the perfect window. But destroying Oa, which all the Corps now call home, if I'm going to help you, I need to know what the plan is, because it sounds impossible. I'll lay everything out for you soon enough, Fatality. After I hydrate. Elsewhere, in the voids of space, the rest of the Blue Lanterns are joining me for our annual pilgrimage soon. Since our powers are the strongest around Green Lanterns, our bond with Mogo is special. I came a little early because Mogo is full sentient constructs, just like me. There is no judgment, no pity. He feels safe. With Keli training at the academy, Simon still recovering from Krona's glove, Joe on a mission, and John, being John, I felt lonely. When my John made me, he didn't think about what he wanted happened when Mom didn't need me anymore. With him gone, I don't know why I'm still here, or even what I'm really capable of. Mogo's had a rough go as of late, so I figured we could be lonely together. Mogo, are you okay? They kept me locked in here, that lantern, for so long, deprived in darkness, forgotten to history. But fire never truly dies, and with enough to burn, an effigy can leave a lasting impact. Fire, desire. You mean, in a way, he kind of looks a bit like Chthon from Marvel. He was the Eldritch God of Chaos, the Scarlet Witch's arch enemy, true arch enemy, so to speak. Meanwhile, on Oa, I don't get it. Why would we ever use our energy twins? Yeah, they're faster than the speed of light, but they really don't do anything. Narf's right. That's right. It's just like a green ghost of yourself that you project while you're asleep to spy on people. Okay, wait. Actually, come to think of it, that actually sounds cool. You can travel to Brainiac's skull ship to figure out whether or not he has boogers. Gross. You know, if the mission depends on it. Yup. It's a reconnaissance mission. Only other Green Lanterns can see you. Green Lantern construct astral projection. Wow, the Green Lanterns really are evolving. Energy twins are your soul projecting outward. You've got to have a strong connection with your inner self. But you don't worry. If Guy can do it, anyone can. Alright, smartass. Yep, that's Guy Gardner, alright. Alright, Excel. So cool. And of course, we now find Aya, who's beginning of her arc. Maybe I do not have this ability because I do not have a soul. Nonsense, Aya. Just focus on the thing that gives you purpose. Purpose is tied to the soul. Yeah, I don't think it's working. You overstepped your bounds for the last time. Unhand me Red Lantern filth. Cadets, let's go. And look who's joining the fray. It's none other than Razor, the secret protagonist of Green Lantern, the animated series. It seems as though he's returned to his Red Lantern roots, instead of just embracing the Hope Lantern like he initially suggested. Now keep in mind, this is not technically within the canon of the Green Lantern, the animated series show, but it is nice to see Razor in his original form present in the comics. Let's go, cadets. What about Aya? We'll figure out what's wrong after this mess. We find Aya struggling to connect with her inner self. But given especially what she had been through, it's hard to say. Elsewhere, how are the Corvodian eggs, Katma? Corvodian eggs, Katma. Yeah, they're hard to get right. Honestly, they could use a little John, I need your help on Mogo. Someone named Effigy is... Never a dull moment here, is there? You can't avoid Ellie forever. You're right. I think Kilowog and Guy have this handled. Show off. I've always... now, for a fun fact, I've always depicted John Stewart as as a Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, the cartoons version of John Stewart, to be the definitive version. And I always imagined it this way, too. Now, I always envisioned Phil LaMarr voicing his character in the comics. It just feels right that way. Ring, what's up with this Effigy? Martin Van Wyck, otherwise known as Effigy, former agent of the Controllers. He's got pyrokinesis and can create flame-based constructs. Records show that the Spectre melted his body and trapped him inside a lantern. He has been missing since the fall of the Starbreakers. I remember him. He got caught up in his powers. I hoped he can be reasoned with. Maybe after all this, you and Ellie could sit down and talk. Yeah, maybe. First this planet, then Oa. I'm burning it all! What's Mogo done to you? Leave him alone. You think you're enough to stop me? Maybe not alone. I knew you'd come, but together, we think we've got a good chance. I've got a plan. I soak him, you smash him. Mogo's sending help, too. Gonna take more than that to stop me. You must have forgotten. Forgotten. You should never play with fire. How can you destroy our constructs? I'm pulling lava from the outer core, kid. It's stronger than anything you can make with your mind. We'll see about that. Ellie! No! Ellie! That's it. You've just done fucked up. Meanwhile, back on Oa, looks like Razor, and it appears to be Murgatroyd or something. I know that this guy. I can't remember what this guy's name is, but it definitely rings familiar. All this fighting over land, I don't get it. It's about control. Yellow Lanterns are the most calculated out of the whole spectrum. With Sinestro back as the head of the Snake, I wouldn't be surprised if they were working on some kind of power play for Oa. We need to stop this before it gets out of hand. The Yellow Lanterns steal our belongings and encroach on our land, and you're taking their side, Kilowog? Just like Razor. Calculated, stoic, and yet still easily hot-tempered. Ain't taking no one's side, Razor, but we need to handle this with diplomacy, not... Frag diplomacy! Yeah! Razor! And thus, Aya has found her true purpose, and is able to astral project herself as a true Green Lantern. Is he? He's fine, just out cold. And so is he. Aya? Her energy twin! She did it! And now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me the greatest pride and grandest pleasure to unveil to you something that has officially been in the works for 12 years, 5 months, and approximately 13 days according to the blog. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Razians and Phanterns unite. For now, I present to you this. My love, Aya, you look different. I think it was my soul. I was not sure I had one until I heard your scream, and in an instant, it leaped out of my body to find you. My purpose. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is the moment every Razian and Phantern has been waiting for. The two finally kiss on the printed page in canon for the first time ever. The main arc, the build-up to this is that Razor and I had always cared for each other, even in the series, and the build-ups between Young Justice with Aya and Young Justice with Razor, and even in the animated Crisis on Infinite Earths, which shows them together to a degree. But this right here is the culmination of all those years and the Green Lantern the animated series that we've been waiting for. Razor and Aya finally kiss. We always knew that they would, but just the fact that they show it on the page, this is where everyone, all of us in the fandom, are finally complete. Aya, that was amazing! Our energy twins can do that? To which Guy says, nah, I think that's something only Aya can do. Hate to bring... Where is this? Oh, it's in Green Lantern Corps, DC, Green Lantern Corps, number 11, year 2025, by author, Hamilton. So, yeah, I hope that answered your question fully. Anyway, as much as I'd like to cut this little moment short, they still have to finish the story. And look at that. Razor, have you seen the Yellow Lantern stealing? Have you seen the Yellow Lantern stealing from you? Not specifically, but they fly over into Zaran daily. If not them, who else? That little weasel Larfleeze. And of course, that's it. Clearly, we are not ready to work together, so there'll be more guardrails in place for those of you who don't know how to play by the rules. Effective immediately, I'm posting Green Lanterns within every core state to help keep the peace. Core leader Cruz's orders. His orders. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the subscribing, Equinox. Glad to have you aboard. So yeah, this is Jessica Cruz. Oh, by the way, I had no idea that Jessica Cruz actually was a Green Lantern until I saw the short series, Superhero Girls 2019. After getting to know that version of Jessica, I've come to think that at least how that's how I interpret the character. I mean, she can be a bit overbearing at times, but considering her past and the interactions, I'd like to think that that version is the definitive Carol Jessica Cruz, at least combined with her original Prime counterpart self. Don't like it? Prove you can fall in line. Be ready for an all-hands meeting tomorrow. Representatives from every corps must be in attendance. What does that mean for us? It means you've got less time to get with the program. Now back to it. Meanwhile, you killed her. Why? She was just a kid. This ain't worth it anymore, man. I didn't know her. No, she was different from the other constructs. I didn't know she was alive. Let me go, man. She only ever wanted to help. I know I've done wrong. These powers ain't been nothing but trouble since I got 'em. I don't care why he freed me anymore. I won't be his pawn, and I can't go back into that cell. What? Who freed? I just want to go to the light. John? Huh? What? Ellie? Huh? When Effigy hit me, everything went black. I thought I was gone, but I knew more than anything that I wanted to live. You turned hope into a reality. You willed yourself back to life. I don't care how. I'm just glad that you're back. Should we go check on Mogo? Way ahead of you on that one. Ah, here it is. So wait, the event in Young Justice where Razor made an appearance as a Blue Lantern is only in... yes, Equinox, yes. It was the one that were... Yes, it was the episode where it was called on the... Dancing on the Razor's Edge. It's a good episode, actually. It tells basically where Razor reunites with Kilowog and finally gets the Blue Lantern ring, finally completing his arc from the Green Lantern the animated series. But it merges with his Red Lantern ring, and where Metron, the new Genesis Watcher in a way, tells Razor to show him his true potential, and he does. It's a great episode. I highly recommend you watch it. It's on HBO Max and everything. Anyway, the Blue Lantern ring merges with his Red Lantern ring and becomes what I like to call a dual lantern. Dang, it is loved that I wish it was canon. Yeah, me too. In fact, that's how I choose to interpret it. I like to because since DC has so many different canons going, I like to construct my own based off the highlights from each of the different respective canons. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. And the fact that we got to see Razor without his hair, Razor without his helmet, and seeing him with the hair for the first time, that actually was just something different. You know, like how in Captain America, like how in Endgame where Captain America lifted Mjolnir? Well, seeing Razor get the Blue Lantern ring and becoming a dual lantern was pretty much just that for us Green Lantern the animated series fans. And if you've seen both, if you understand the comparison, then you'll definitely know what it means. So trust me, when Razor finally emerged as a dual lantern, I swear to God I could hear entire Rays Ions and Fanterns rise up and give a wild, thunderous applause like we were at a rock concert. Yeah, it is. Yup, it is a great one. But anyway, now to finish up this story. When I got this ring, St. Walker told me that hope isn't just a wish, it's an action. Some Blue Lanterns have exhibited the ability to heal great injuries, but I'm not sure it's been a display. Felt like fan service, like the writers were saying, hey, we remember Razor. Hey, it may have been fan service, but at least it was the best kind of fan service. Because at least it showed that they actually cared about the characters they created. I mean, Razor was the original OC that they wrote specifically for the show. I mean, come on. Just to forget him all. I mean, it would have been precious to see him just confined to the confines of the show, but he and Aya both had so much potential they could unearth. I mean, just imagine their reaction to seeing, like, the Justice League or anything, or Jon Stewart, or the rest of the Justice League, like with Superman, Wonder Woman, hell, even Batman, for Christ's sake. Yeah, exactly. I even wrote an excerpt about it on Crisis for the animated Crisis on Infinite Earths, where it's divided into subsections based on Green Lantern's extended role within that. It's up on my blog on my Tumblr blog under Ray Zaya. You can feel free to locate it there. It's actually it's a pretty good one. I mean, it's based on how I choose to interpret their interactions. Anyway, back to the story. She's not your sister. She's not my sister. I think I get what he was trying to say now. But I'm done pretending she's not family. Really, I don't feel so alone anymore. I guess it took a lot longer than I thought. Meanwhile, but I got your ship tuned up. All new bells and whistles. She's acting brand new. Excellent. That just leaves the fuel. Your ship runs on core crystals. I thought I told you that. Not for the ship. I want to leave, take this freedom, and get out of here for good. But this might be the chance I have to get the Green Lanterns back for what they took from me. For me. What's your... I can hear your thoughts, Fatality. This is the best chance for revenge you'll have, and I don't need you here. I want you here, so we can build our bond from our shared hatred. So here's the plan. I'm going to reanimate Iquar in my own image and use it to drown everything the Green Lanterns hold dear. With them distracted, they won't even see you coming. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the story. I think it's a pretty short issue, and I pretty much have no interest in reading the second comic. You see, I was only interested in this panel. I was only interested in this panel right over here. That's pretty much the sole reason of why I bought this comic. Razor and Aya finally kiss, at least in canon, in printed artistry right here on this in this thing. Yup. Yeah, I know it's a bummer, but feel free to check it out. But if you really want to see what happens next, feel free to check out the next issue, which I think is called. Hang on. Oh yeah, Planet Reborn for next month's issue. But for now, I just want to end on this. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Yep. Finally after 16 years. Actually, it was more than 12, 13 years. Well, actually, it's 12 years, believe it or not. But yeah, it still feels like that. But yeah, this is a gloriously great panel. Razor and Aya finally back together, officially, after so many years. It's a shame, too, and I really wish that the Green Lantern, the animated series, could have just really done something like this. I mean, it was, 12 years. The finale ended in 2013 when it came out. So yeah, it has been 12 years. But yeah. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the story. You can check out Green Lantern Corps Volume Number 11, 2025 edition by something Marcus Hampton at your local comic book store, online or wherever comic books are sold. So yeah, that just look at this. How did she get her memory back? It's never really specifically mentioned in canon. I think they kind of glossed over that just for the sole purpose of just wanting to get Aya back. But how I choose to interpret how she got her memory back, it was up on the in Crisis on Infinite Earths rewritten. In my case, it would have been Aya. It was kind of like a classic amnesia arc where she and Razor are reunited. Razor recognizes her, but she doesn't recognize him. However, whilst on their mission to Warworld, or with Mongol and everything, Razor takes the blast for Aya the same way she did for him, which kind of kickstarted the whole anti-Monitor arc from the get-go. After seeing Razor scream in pain and everything, and risking his life just to save her, her memories suddenly come flooding back like a tidal wave of emotion and memory. So that's how I choose to interpret how she got her memories back. I mean, there's nothing stated in official canon, but that's how at least I choose to interpret this. So, what do you think, Warlock? Huh? I think that's a good way of interpreting this, and I really wish the writers would have done a lot more with this particular arc, amnesia arc. But there have been so many fanfics that use this trope that it's on that it would have been, but it's a good way to rebuild, while making new memories as well as reclaiming old ones. In a way, kind of like what Wolverine should have done, instead of just rehashing the same amnesia plot, or just sticking with the status quo. It's like, I like it when characters end up changing outfits or reassigned for new locations. When done exceptionally well, of course. It indicates growth. It's rewarding to invest all this time in these characters and then pay off later on in further issues. I guess that's why we read comics and everything. Why we read stories, because in a way these characters, when done right, when handled right, are just like us. They grow and evolve to different things. So I hope that answered that question for you, and I hope you'll be able to check out my blog. It's Rayzaya on Tumblr. And I'm sure you'll find loads more of Rayzaya content and more bonus features like this in store. You heard Warlock here, folks. If you want to learn more about want to see more Rayzaya content than just on this YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe to my Tumblr blog of Rayzaya. So that just does it for today's episode. But be sure to tune in next time when we dive into the Marvel universe for something extra special, for a special multi-part episode saga. Until then, I'm Pirate Master Deadpool Supreme, and I'm your enigmatic co-host Adam Warlock, hoping that you'll keep it real by leaving a like, subscribe if you're able, and sharing this on your favorite social media platforms. Truer words were never spoken. Until next time, true believers, Excelsior.